Hey y'all, well today on the channel, Daisy and I have got a lot of stuff going on. We got hikers that are out there on the trail, the NOBO Thru-Hikers for 2026. We've got more intros coming up, more people getting ready to get on the trail. We're going to talk about that. More registrations for our support list, more registrations for the ATC, and a bunch of news. Let's go ahead and dive right in. What do you say, Daisy? Atta girl. All right, so here we go. So right now we got Ridges is a viewer, and Ridges reported in that he was up on Thru-Hikers. So Thru-Hikers is in the Smokies, and Thru-Hikers, I know, Thru-Hikers is what you may know it as Klingman's Dome. So he was up there, and he ran into a hiker that was obviously hiking up there, and he said that in chatting he came up, said his name was Derek, the hiker was, and he was on his calendar year Triple Crown. Well, I've done a whole bunch of research, and it seems that this may be the Derek who is attempting the calendar year Triple Crown, and he is trying to be the youngest person to do so. He started January 1, and I think it was on the 12th. This person said that told me this. Ridges did, and he was already in the Smokies. So that's literally smoking it. He is burning up the trail getting up there. And of course, if you're going to do a calendar year Triple Crown, you're really going to have to do that. So calendar year Triple Crown means he is doing all three of the big three of the long distance trails in the U.S. So that's the Appalachian Trail, the Continental Divide Trail, and the Pacific Crest Trail. So he's going to do all those in 1 year, 365 days. That's 7,600 miles plus, and he says he's going to do it in 10 months. So hopefully he's going to get in touch with me. I've messaged him, don't have it firsthand, but I'm pretty certain this is a guy. He'll be someone interesting to follow out there. Hopefully we'll get his information and we can keep him pumped up all the way right now to Katahdin, and then as he continues, we'll report on him as he keeps going out there. But that is awesome. And then we got Prepper and Subman and Tie-Dye, I want to say Tie-Dye Goat. I guess that'd be greatest of all time, tie-dye, because there's always a bunch of tie-dyes on the trail. But anyway, they report in from their huge milestone, the first big milestone on the trail, and that is the 100-mile mark there at Trey Mountain, where the old fire tower is. So go ahead, guy.
100 miles, Ramdino. We've done it. The first major milestone.
On the Appalachian Trail.
I am Prepper.
Tie-Dye Goat. The Subman.
Let's go, baby! 2.0!
Yeehaw, Team Prepper.
Take it down, because I want down.
And then Prepper and Ash, they also reported to us from Siler Bald. So Siler Bald is right at the top of Winding Stair Gap. That was, Winding Stair Gap is where I got plantar fasciitis for the first time, where the trail gave me plantar fasciitis. But, so Siler Bald is a Blue Bays. Away from that, that's about a 1/10 of a mile, but it's straight up, but it is a gorgeous view. Now, Prepper has been up there before, or maybe it was Subman. I think it's Subman been up there before. On his through hike, because Subman's done it before, and he indicated he'd never been up there when it was clear. So they had a bluebird day. Send in this video for us.
Hello, Ramdino. January 16th. We're on the top of Siler Bald. Little blue blaze off the Appalachian Trail, 5,216 feet. It's just me and Ash today. Well, Goat and Surefoot and Subman decided not to do the blue blaze. So this is my third time by here, and I have never, ever seen the top of this without it being socked in. So who's here with me?
It's Ash.
Yeah, Big Ash. We're still together, hiking strong. We're on top of the world, baby. Appalachian Trail 2.0. Let's go, baby.
That is awesome. What a gorgeous shot there. Sending that into it. So they are cooking it as well. So after Siler Bald, they're heading on into Way Bald, and then they'll be to Nantahala Outdoor Center, and that's on the doorstep, heading into the next 3 to 4 days, getting into Fontana, and then heading into the Smokies. So looking forward to their continued updates here on the channel. And then we've got Gemini. She is working on her SKT. So you know what that's the fastest known time. Go to leave a comment down below KT is, but she's still having a good time. She is heading to Georgia. She's going to finish up the Georgia section, and then she's got a few hundred miles she's got to finish on her flip-flop, and then she'll be done. But here she is crossing Carolina on her SOBO portion of her flip-flop into Georgia. So very good, Gemini. Look forward to your continued updates. So we got some intros. You're really into it today, aren't you, Daisy? We got some intros that are going on out there. So Big D sends us his intro. Take it away, Big D.
Hello, Ramdino and hiker friends. I'm Big D, and I will be hiking the Appalachian Trail starting April 2nd, going northbound. And what makes my hike a little unique is that I'm a diabetic who is recovering from consecutive back surgeries, and I will also be taking ham radio along with me on the trail.
So Big D has had a lot to overcome over there. So that is going to be really interesting. He's hauling this ham radio with him. That looks really heavy. I guess if he runs out of a resupply or something, he could eat part of it. I don't know. So anyway, he'll have him a little barbecue, right? So, but Big D, looking forward to your updates. And then we got Woods Hole. She was one of the participants at Woods Hole this past weekend, or not past weekend, this past year when we did that up there for Thru-Hikers that are going to be going through and kind of a dive-in session up there, and it went really well. Well, Taser, she got her name there at Woods Hole weekend, and that's because she has a real taser in her tracking pole. First time I'd seen that. So, guys, beware when she comes out there. Hopefully, that thing won't go off by accident. But anyway, she sends in her intro.
More than 3,000 start each year. Most never reach the end.
And I'm going to hike solo.
Do you think she can do it? How far do you think she'll get? Comment below.
People on trail call me Taser, but my favorite people call me Mimi.
Back in. And then we got the Merry Hikers. They check in with their intro.
Hi, I'm the Merry Hiker. My husband, Leftovers, and I will be stepping onto the Appalachian Trail at Springer Mountain at the end of February. Come join us on this journey as we document our 2026 AT Thru hike with our YouTube channel, Merry Hiker. Thank you for everything that you do for the trail community. We truly appreciate it. Can't wait to be a part of it, and we'll see you outside.
Hey guys, thanks a lot for you hikers on the trail that sent those in, and you folks that sent in your intros. Please continue to do that. You can send me those 30-second intro videos or 30-second trail up through email or any of the DMs through Instagram or Facebook. Daisy takes them all. Or you can just send a picture, or if you ain't got time to do that, just send us a quick text. Let us know how you're doing, how things are going on at the trail. Include some information for about the trail conditions, maybe like water sources, things like that for folks behind us. Talk to us about how shelters, the occupancy and everything for them. But in any case, we want to hear back from you. We want to support you all the way throughout the course. So new registrations we got on my support list this week. We got David Wood, Chris Hughes, Big T, Mistress Joy, Soda Pop, Big Fun, Baby Koopa, and DJ Johnson. So all of those are going NOBO. A couple of them are doing the approach, and some of them are going straight to Springer. So looking forward to that. We are somewhere north of 112 on our support list. So if you want to be on that support list so that folks can find your social media and can go and support you with comments and everything, then the best way to do that is go to the form link down. Put that form link, fill it out. That'll put you on the list. And then the hiking community, you can go in the description section. Also is the link to that list where you can go and find hikers and support them all the way throughout the course of their trip. So registrations we got with the actual official ATC registrations are maxed out for one day, March 1st. So that is just recently maxed out with 50 hikers. So anytime that people have registered with more then with 50 or more hikers, the ATC considers the trail maxed out. So it doesn't mean there, okay, we got 50 hikers, you'll have to wait till later to hike. We've had years when we had 60 and 70 hikers registered on the same day and hitting the trail. That just means the ceiling they've set at the carrying capacity where there'll be ample room for people at shelters and stealth sites and things like that. So, but it doesn't mean people aren't going to get out there. We normally have multiple days each year that get maxed out. So March 15th is getting close to that. And that's always another day. I don't know why March 15th is and March 1st. I guess maybe people are considering that it's past cold weather. Leave a comment down below if you know why, particularly if you're a thru-hiker out there that's done it. People, why those are particular days. We, of course, have had an increase in folks who have registered their thru-hike. So right now we've had an additional 93 NOBO for a total of 1,333. We had 7 more flip-floppers registered for 83 and 0 SOBO. So we're still holding at 42. So that brings us to a total of 1,458. That, of course, is still on a downward slide to historical over the past couple years. Folks that have registered in the past. Last year, as I talked to hostel owners and shuttlers and people like that, felt like it was down by about 30%. So right now it's down a little bit more. Interesting enough, though, the Green Dragon Hostel down in Georgia, which is a very good hostel down there. I see lots of good reviews from them. They say that their hikers are up this year. So we had a new owner at a local hostel there. Used to be called Top of Georgia. Now it's Around the Bend, and it's been there for a while. So I don't know if he's taking some time to get ramped up with people coming in there. But I do know the Green Dragon is doing well. They're doing better than they did this time last year. And they did say that one difference they've seen so far from last year is that more of their hikers this year have come through, have actually registered with the ATC, as opposed to last year. Almost half of their hikers in January and February did not register with the ATC. So you don't have to register to hike. And anywhere, depending on who you talk to at the ATC, anywhere from 10% to 25% of hikers don't register their hike. So of course, if you don't register, you can't get the bag tag. If that's something important to you, you can. My understanding is you would still be able to go ahead and get your 2,000 miler cert if you finished. If that's something that's important to you, you could still get that from the ATC. But I thought that was interesting that they're up, but registrations are still down from what they have been over the past couple of years. So we'll see how that pans out as we go. But thanks a lot for that information, Green Dragon. Any other hostels out there that want to feed me information, please do so. Would love to include you and would love to include the information that you have. Shuttle drivers, any of those folks out there that help the hikers on the trail, whether you do it as a trail angel or you do it for commerce as a business, would greatly appreciate that coming in. So some news we got. Whispers, our northern correspondent, he sends in that the Barn Hostel in Gorman, New Hampshire is under new management. So it was sold out. It was kept questionable whether or not it would be a hostel in, but it is, and they say they have bought the place and they are intending to keep it as a hiker hostel. They say our doors will be open and plan accordingly. They can't wait to meet hikers. So apparently it was purchased by a family, and they must be French. Or somebody's French there, because all the stuff I saw on their website was in French. So I thought that was interesting, even though I had my Google translator on, it still was in French. But they live there. They have a barn hostel out, a barn that they've turned into a hostel. So they have bunk rooms and Wi-Fi, and you can do tent camping, shuttles, all that neat stuff there. The spotter who 2026 thru-hiker asked them, and she's also, she's a 2000, I think she thru-hiked in 2024, and then her boyfriend attempted in 2025 last year. He's doing it again this year. Spotter's doing a SOBO, so maybe they're going to cross in the middle somewhere, right? Because he's doing NOBO, she's going SOBO. But I saw where she had asked them a question there about Walmart runs and like that, and the owners indicated there'll be set times in the morning and afternoon to pick up and drop off at the trailheads. That's included, but grocery runs they'll do for a fee, and they encourage folks to use local shuttle services for their demands for that. And they said there are no resupply there unless they have it on site. Don't know that, but yes, to pick up and drop off at the trailhead. And then over this past week, it looks like we lost one of our family, say one of the hiker communities who had been attempting to complete the trail. His name was Kevin Kine. He was 46 and lived in Cary, North Carolina, I believe, or Kevin Kane. And so not long after setting out in 2020 when he attempted a thru hike, he got, of course, that's when COVID came in and the ATC told everybody to get off the trail, even though before, and it's not throwing shade on the ATC, before that, everybody had said, okay, don't be around groups, get outside. And then all of a sudden, so many people got out and hike that now they had to tell people not to hike anymore. And so the ATC asked people to get off the trail. But anyway, Sketch began painting watercolors for all his inspirations that he had collected on his journey so far. And in 2023, he returned to thru hiking, and that's when he had kept his trail name Sketch, and tracked all the way to Vermont before realizing he needed a new knee. And that was, he was 46, so he's awful young to need a new knee. But anyway, he got one. He had planned to start back on trail this May. And finished 644 miles to Mount Katahdin in Maine before he tragically passed away. So looked like he was a huge outdoorsman as I scanned through his pages there. I mean, he was a family man, did everything from hiking and took his family hiking to boarding and skiing. Interesting personal connect. Managing partner of Davis Kane Architects, which was somebody that the architectural firm that I work for, and I'm not an architect, I'm just a dumb old general contractor, but I worked as their construction administrator, going out to make sure the projects are done right. So he worked for Davis Kane, and I guess that's where the name Kane come from, in Davis Kane. And they were somebody who, I can't recall if they were our competitors or if we actually collaborated them on stuff. And I don't get into the design side of things, and you know, I'm not a principal or anything, so I don't get shared that a lot, but I've heard that name around the office, Davis Kane, a lot. So if anybody from Davis Kane or knows anybody there, then I send out on behalf of my architectural firm, and that's Stewart Cooper Newell Architects in Gastonia, North Carolina. Send those out and I'll let my bosses know as well. Send out our sympathies to you there. And then the Leapfrog Cafe has kicked off their official fundraiser for the NOBO season starting now. So Fresh Ground, as most of you know, and most of you, if you watch my channel, you know I'm buddies with Fresh Ground. I am on his board for his 501c3. And so that is all proceeds that go to that. Any donations that go to that are tax deductible. And so he started his NOBO fundraiser for that. And you can go to his Facebook page and you can find all the ways that you can give to him, from check to snail mail to Venmo to Zelle to, he's got it, carrier pigeon, snail mail, you name it. You can come up to his site and give it to him. He'll take it anyway. But this for NOBOs, it costs about $1,500 a week in food and fuel to keep him on the road feeding hikers out there. So he'll be doing this for many, many months. And when NOBO season's over, he will turn around and do it for SOBO. If you've been on trail, there's nothing like coming around a bend to a trailhead and there being that white van with all the stickers on it and Fresh Ground's there. You're going to get fed well. You're going to get great food there, and it's all good food. It's all, and most of it's good for you. But he's got great coffee too as well. Get a grilled cheese sandwich from him. It is the best grilled cheese sandwich in the world. But anyway, go and give to him. That is a very, very worthy cause. We got Gateways celebration, or Gateways get together down at Amicalola Falls State Park coming up. That's kind of a hiker get together there every year from February 27th to March 1st. And there typically we had a place to camp there at Tent City, but they don't have Tent City anymore. So you'll have to rent a campsite there, maybe go in together, rent a campsite. They do have a fire ring there, but there'll be a lot of vendors, some classes and stuff. So it's just a good time to get together for the hiker community. Always an enjoyable time down there. And so I would highly recommend that. And then Laura, who is one of my Patreon members, she sent a picture of the swag I sent her that she put on her, I guess it's a coffee cup or thermos or something, but that is really cool. Laurel, thank you for sending me that. I love to get stuff like that from my Patreon members and of stuff that I send them. So thanks a lot for doing that. That is really cool. Hey, check out these videos over here for some hikes for my favorite hike I've done in a long time, and that is in the Shanties Cruisy Trail. Can't wait to see the Thru-Hikers come through there. And then thanks a lot for the prayers you sent out for my appointment coming up. I finally do have an appointment to have the test done, and that's February 11th. So be thinking about me, be praying for me then, be sending me good thoughts and great comments for that, and I'll share with you the results of that test when they come out. But thanks a lot, you guys, for my family. I consider you my family, particularly all the folks that report, that comment in on a weekly basis or on a regular basis out there. That means the world to me. I also like your comments with the questions. So send me any questions you got out there. Be glad to answer those for you about anything on the trail or anything else. Folks, that's all I've got this week. As always, appreciate you, and we hope to see you out there. Don't we, Daisy? Yes.